River City Girls is fucking phenomenal. Go out and buy it right now. Amazon affiliate links down in the description below. We got nothing else to talk about. I'm done, all right? All right, go home, go get it, download it right now. Go pick it up from Limited Run Games. Do whatever you need to do. Game's phenomenal. Review over. I'll see y'all. For the rest of y'all, let's get into this review. What's up, everybody? It's Mekel, Kasanova, Hawaii's favorite YouTuber and host of the #1 podcast in the state of Hawaii, the Kasanova Podcast, where I interview video game voice actors and anime voice actors, video game industry, celebrities, and various other people. So if you haven't already, make sure you go and check out the Kasanova Podcast. Links to all that down in the description below. It's available on all platforms. Doesn't matter what you're using. Apple, Android, iHeartRadio, Spotify, TuneIn Radio, doesn't matter. We're on it. So make sure you check that out today. All right, so with that all being out the way, let's go ahead and talk about the game. You probably want to know if it's worth your hard-earned money, being $30 and all. And that game is River City Girls. Now, the River City franchise, I think we kind of need to go a little bit over what the franchise is. The series isn't new per se. I mean, it inspired the creation of Double Dragon, being a more gritty, more post-apocalyptic, you know, when everything else came out with Enter the Dragon and with Fist of the North Star. So this is basically, that's what created Double Dragon, for those of you who didn't know. Neketsu or Kunio or River City, however you want to name it, it goes by any of the three and they're easily interchangeable. The series is not new. It's fairly old. It's older. It's as old as me, if not a couple years older. Yeah, I'm showing my age, but hey, whatever. And basically, it's always starred the main character, Kunio, and his friend Riki, his best friend Riki, and their adventures of going up against the Yakuza, going up against rival gangs in school, and trying to save their girlfriends Masako and Kyoko. It varies. I mean, the franchise, it originated as a beat 'em up and is one of the grandfathers of the beat 'em up genre, and it also influenced and it stepped in many other fields, sports, melee games, you name it. We've had so many different iterations of the River City franchise, but unfortunately they haven't come out in the West as frequently or as well known, mainly because it never caught on in the West. And you might be wondering, why didn't it catch on in the West? Just because a little something called Double Dragon, which when it dropped in the 80s, it was a bit of a global success, especially in the West. Kunio River City didn't really take off. I mean, River City Ransom, the original, was a hit, especially in the West. We didn't really get another major entry in the franchise with the exception of River City EX on the Game Boy Advance, and then a couple titles on Steam, DS, PS4, here and there. I mean, it's just really been scattered for us in the West. We haven't really gotten what Japan has. With the release of River City Girls, I think this entry is going to be the starting point for a revival of the franchise in the West, and also for gamers who've never heard or never played any of the previous entries and they're very curious about it. River City Girls is going to be that game that's going to just draw so many people into the franchise. I'm excited for that, and that's what we're here to talk about today. All right, so now that we've got the history lesson out of the way, so you're probably curious as to what River City Girls is all about. Does it tie into the previous entries? Do you need to have foreknowledge of that to get into the franchise going? If this is your starting point, you know, what's the gameplay, the graphics like? And honestly, let's just go ahead and sum it up. No, you do not have to have played any of the previous Kunio, River City, Neketsu titles. You're basically going to be introduced to the main characters, Masako and Kyoko. And basically, Masako is Kunio's girlfriend, and Kyoko is Riki's girlfriend. And that's really all you need to know, because this is their story about going to save Kunio and Riki. You're going to run into a lot of different characters from previous entries, and also a lot of characters from the Double Dragon franchise, which actually had me scratching my head a little bit because I'm trying to figure out if they're trying to merge Double Dragon Neon's world with River City, because you do run into Billy and Jimmy Lee, you run into Skullmageddon, you run into Linda Lash, and most of all, you run into a Bobo.
Did you kidnap our boyfriends?
I don't know. I kidnapped lots of people.
Why?
My parents didn't love me enough as a baby.
Wow, that's strangely honest.
I'm so sad! Masako, I'm gonna cry!
Well, either you took them or you didn't. Now answer me before I slam your thick skull through these walls!
You got a mouth on you, sweetie.
Got a couple of fists, too!
Yeah. Let's see how well you can work them.
Who is actually integral to the story of this game, a Bobo, which he's appeared in previous Kunio titles before, so there is crossover here and there. But in this title, a Bobo is one of the central characters to the plot of the game. Although when you fight him and beat him, you kind of realize he's not really as involved as you think he is, or he's presented to be. He's just a guy who just likes to fight. But anyway, with that being said, you start the game off at Neketsu High School, and Masako and Kyoko are basically just, they find out that Riki and Kunio get kidnapped, and then they're on their way to try and break out of detention and also go and get their boyfriends. And the funny thing is, it's like when you're breaking out of the first level, when you break out of detention, you have like the principal on the intercom, and he's telling the other students to attack Masako and Kyoko. And it's really funny how like he has these like quits that he says over the intercom, and the other students just come and try to fight you. Then the teacher's over there just shaking because he's scared and shit. It's hilarious. I love how the game doesn't really take itself seriously, and it pokes fun at itself the right way, not the Double Dragon Neon way, but the right way, where it pays respects to the franchise, but also knows what should and shouldn't be taken seriously. I really liked it. I really enjoyed how they went about that approach, and I think this is something going forward. If there's a sequel, which I highly assume that there will be, I would love to see one going forward utilizing this style. As you go, you start the game off, you got your basic punch, heavy attack, jump. You can run, dodge, block, parry. That's the other thing too, is you can parry in this game when you block. And this game, unlike most brawlers, it has a very high emphasis on defense, which a lot of brawlers is all about walking from left to right or right to left and just attacking, dodging, and just going on and just continuing until you beat the level. This game does all that, but it's open world exploring as you open up new areas within River City, and when you're fighting, you're gonna get swarmed, and there are certain animations that let you know that the enemy is about to attack you. Like if you see an enemy start rushing at you, that's when you know you need to block, because at that point they're probably gonna connect. Not the saying that you can't interrupt their attack, but it's a telltale. And that's the one thing I really love about this game, is how each individual enemy has a certain telltale that lets you know that they're going to attack you. And it's freaking awesome. I love it. When you're doing a punch, like especially when you're fighting bosses, you can do your traditional 3 to 4 hit combo depending on how far up you've leveled that ability. And when you're attacking a boss, now you'll be able to do your combo, but on that last hit after you hit them many times, more often than not, they're not gonna let you follow up with another additional attack. What they will do is they'll already have an attack that's going to cancel damage animation that they're going through and start trying to hit you. Now when you see the little tick of the animation, as soon as it's about to start, block. And if you time it correctly right before it hits you, you can parry it and leave them wide open to get wrecked. However you want to wreck them, you can wreck them because they're wide open. And that's the thing, like I said, the game emphasizes defense more than anything else, and I love it. I love the fact that, you gotta think in a brawler. Most brawlers you don't. You just walk left or right and punch, or you attack, or you dodge, like I said earlier. This one, you gotta think. When you're surrounded by enemies, you gotta realize, do I want to go after the one that's the weakest? Do I want to go after the strongest one? Do I want to clear the mob? And if I'm gonna get involved and get down and dirty with my knuckles, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna hit him with a heavy attack? Am I gonna do a rush down combo, run in and just start hitting light attack? Am I gonna use a special attack and do a clearing, an enemy clearing move, or do a special stone fist combo if I'm Masako? Or what am I gonna do? And regardless of how I proceed to attack, I also have to put that much emphasis on defending myself. This is something that really separates this from any other brawler that I played. The defense. You can block, parry, half the times I was playing this game, I'm like, damn, I feel like I'm playing Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. Or Galro Mark of the Wolves with the, the parry system or the just defend system. It's really good. I personally loved it. I love what they did with it. And it's just, it's superb. Way forward technologies. You guys are amazing with that. Now let's talk about the graphics. Now it is using a pixelated style of art, which if you're familiar with Shantae or the Mighty Switch Force series, you'd be familiar with this art style. Even the Azure Striker Gunvolt series, you'll be familiar with this art style. It's an anime-ish type of graphical style. It actually harkens quite strongly to the Scott Pilgrim versus the World game that we can no longer play unless you downloaded it and you haven't wiped your hard drive, which I wiped my hard drive and I lost that game. Say a prayer for me. So with this art style, basically it's like anime, chibi, Saturday morning cartoon style. It works. It's not the traditional Kunio style of gameplay, traditional Kunio style of graphics, where it's like the chibi deformed or the, the Yu Yu Hakusho style of art, but it's a good combination of the two that's modernized. And that's the thing that just worked. Kunio looks like a badass. Misako, Kyoko, Riki, everybody looks good. The bosses look good. I've never seen a Bobo look better than he has in this. I mean, to see a modernize a Bobo is freaking awesome. I love it. I think it's really awesome. And not only the art style, but let's talk about the audio. The voice acting is just superbly done. You have Kyoko, who's actually voiced by Kira Buckland. And if you're familiar with Kira Buckland, you already know this woman has phenomenal range. She does 2B in Nier Automata. She's Falk in Street Fighter V. She's just so many characters. Her range just doesn't know any bounds. It's amazing. It's amazing. The voice actress for Masako is equally good. She gives off that I'm a bancho badass, And it's so good. The quips, the one-liners, the interactions between the two. You would actually think that the two main voice actors were in a booth together just talking back and forth the way the dialogue goes. It is absolutely phenomenal. Whoever directed the voice acting for this game, you guys need an award. And when it comes to the audio, when it comes to the soundtrack rather, man, oh my god, the soundtrack, the main theme is so freaking good. Look, I'm gonna play it right now. Here's the main theme. Tell me what you think after you hear this small little snippet of it. All right, I'll wait for you. Go ahead, I'll wait. Wasn't that intro badass? I'm telling you, it was so good. It was so well done. And the rest of the soundtrack for each level and area that you're in, the music is so fitting. And I know this is gonna be sacrilege because so many people are gonna say, Mekel, you're fucking crazy for saying this, but I don't care, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. The OST in this game is better than anything I've heard in a brawler ever. It's up there with Streets of Rage 2. Actually, scratch that. This is better than Streets of Rage 2. And I'm a Yuzo Koshiro fanboy, but Megan McDuffie, oh my God, girl, you did phenomenal with this game. Your music and vocals, oh my God, Megan, you killed it. You absolutely killed it. This is the best soundtrack I've heard in a brawler, in an action game, in a game in so long. You did phenomenally well, and I cannot wait to experience what you've done in Cyberpunk 2077. I can't even wait to have you on the podcast. Probably by the time this video is up, we've already done the interview with you, but hats off to you, Megan McDuffie. Just, oh my God. Please, I need more of this. And any of you who are interested in the soundtrack to this game, you might have times when you're playing it where you just put it down, you put the controller down, and all you're doing, you're just gonna be listening to the music because it's just that damn good. And you know, if you're doing that, like I was doing for the majority of this review, which is why this review took so long for me to get it out, you probably want to go and purchase the soundtrack, which I'll leave a link to that down in the description below because it's pure gold. This is a certified go. You need to go out and get this. That's how good. Megan, again, mahalo for that. Okay, so you're probably thinking at this point, Mekel, you praised this game to high hell. You talked about the graphics, you talked about the gameplay, you talked about the voice acting, the audio direction of the soundtrack, and all this in between. But what are the downsides of the game? Well, I mean, I really don't have any complaints about the game. It's like a traditional River City game. It's about grinding. It's an RPG, it's an action RPG brawler. So you need to go and beat up enemies, get experience, and then level up, get equipment, get different items to restore your health, give you different boosts, and all this in between. It's a traditional River City game or action brawler. But the only downside I can say about this game is the fact that it doesn't have online play. That's it. That's the only bad side. I could complain about the random difficulty spikes. I could complain about some of the repetitive nature of brawlers in general, but I'm just gonna say all that solved with just getting good. My only complaint with this game is the fact that there's no online play. I would love to be able to play this online with my buddy Gamer Thumb, or play it online with Lehua, Superfina, or anyone, any of my audience here watching, any of my audience that comes through from my streams. I would love to be able to play this online, but sadly, that's the only complaint I have. The game, graphics, gameplay, soundtrack, the length of it, the infinite combo possibilities with the gameplay, it's a solid go. With all that being said, I've got to wrap it up and put a little bow on top of it and give this game a review so that way you know if your $30, your hard-earned money, is worth it for either the digital download or the limited run games edition that's physical. And I'm gonna say this, River City Girls is cast certified. By cast certified means that this game is so damn good that you need to go out and get it. That's how good this game is. It's really great. This is probably one of, if not the best game I've played all year. Hands down. And we've had a lot of AAA titles come out left and right. Many flopped, many excelled. But for a game to come out the gate with no issues and just playing perfectly, and it's a genre that I love, go out and buy it. Stop watching this video. Go on your eShop, go on your Xbox Live, go on your PlayStation Network, go on Steam, go and do what you need to do to get this game. It's that damn good. Oh, it's true. And with that being said, I want to personally thank WayForward Technologies and Arc System Works for sending me a review code for allowing this to happen, because I'm just really a fan of the River City franchise. I'm a fan of WayForward Technologies and Arc System Works, and to be able to review this game and just experience how great it is, I just want to say thank you for allowing me this opportunity. And I look forward to working with you guys again, and I look forward to playing more amazing games from you guys. With that being said, what do you guys think? It's out now. Have you played it? And if you have, what do you think about it? Did you enjoy it? Did you not like it? What are some of the things you love? What are some of the things you hate? Either or, whichever way you sway, let me know in the comment section down below. Now, if you enjoy this video and you want to get more like it, subscribing is the best way to go about that. Ding the notification bell lets YouTube know that you like my videos. And if you want to support the channel, there's also YouTube memberships, and we also have a Patreon, patreon.com/MekelKasanova, if you want to support the podcast and the channel, as I am a independent full-time content creator, and anything that you do to support helps out greatly. If you enjoy live streams, you can always catch us every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time on twitch.tv/MekelKasanova. And on Saturdays, you'll be able to catch us at 2 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time on the same platforms. And hey, that's a wrap. That's it. I got nothing else to plug. All I gotta say is, WayForward, you guys did phenomenal. The entire cast, everyone, the voice actors, Megan McDuffie, WayForward, Arc System Works, you guys did a superb job. Hats off to you guys. I am so honored to be able to work with you guys and review this, and I cannot wait until the next amazing game. The next one being Shantae, which I'm excited to see this come out and experience and play it. You know, hey, that's it. I'll catch you guys in the next one. It's Mekel Kasanova. I'm signing out.